at,
So.
you're better to do this, as I was doing my OMA.
Thank you. Okay, it is 6:30, so I will call us to order for this, the general meeting of the Board of Trustees of St. Louis Project Hanwich Public Library District. It's Tuesday, September 9th, 6:30 p.m. We'll start with roll call. Jen?
Here.
Jane?
Here.
Julie?
Here.
Nancy Sanders?
Here.
Nancy Schroeder?
Here.
Barb, our director?
Here.
And Matthew, I am here. Absent Heather Lee. All right, that'll move us to our second item on the agenda. And any additions, deletions, or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to the third item on our agenda, which is our public comment. And first, we will have Elsie Morrissey. Jen will signal you when it's time for you to begin.
Well, tonight, since I've been talking about the Pledge of Allegiance for some time at the library board, I decided to do a little history on the history of the pledge. And the Pledge of Allegiance was written in August of 1892 by a Baptist minister, Francis Bellarmine. 1855 to 1931. It was originally published in the Youth's Companion on September 8th, 1892. And Bellarmine had hoped that the pledge would be used by citizens to promote a general spirit of patriotism. The words of the pledge have changed over the years. And in 2002, there was a letter to the New York Times by Bellarmine's great-granddaughter, Sally Wright, who wrote, "My great-grandfather, Francis Bellarmine, wrote the Pledge of Allegiance in 1892 for the widely read magazine Youth's Companion. A deeply religious man, he was also a strict believer in the separation of church and state, one who opposed even parochial schools on the grounds that the state should educate its own children. He intended the pledge to be a unifying statement for those same children. By adding the phrase 'under God' to the Pledge of Allegiance in 1954, Congress was attempting to distinguish the politics of the United States from the godless communism. It was a response to the communist threat of the times. President Eisenhower encouraged Congress to add the words 'under God,' creating this 31-word pledge we say today. And so I would like to invite anyone who would like to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all." Now, that I would like you to have a reverence for the pledge or an appreciation for the pledge. And so that's why I came tonight. That's all I have.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Becky Clemens.
Go ahead.
And sorry, I don't know where my glasses are. I got them when I came home from work. Got them on top of my head. So yeah, in 1892, Francis Bellarmine, a Baptist minister and socialist, wrote the original Pledge of Allegiance for the Youth Companion. He had intended the pledge as a general expression of loyalty, but did not specify the U.S. flag. which was kind of a neat thing there. It was, in 1923, the National Flag Conference in Washington DC replaced the my flag with the flag of the US. And then from there on, it just kept getting altered and altered and altered. I also would like to mention about the flag code, which came about along with some of the stuff where people really shouldn't be wearing the flag on their clothing. That's called a violation of the flag code. If you put out the flag on a football field, you should not be displaying a flag that way either. You also probably shouldn't be displaying a flag with Trump's face on it or defacing the flag in other ways. Just a little fun fact, or putting the flag on soda cans or beer cans or on frisbee, or having the flag out on the 4th of July and then those little plastic ones and then they fall over on the ground and then people just throw those away. To me, the flag is something that should be respected and it's not something for a decoration. So thank you. And go gay people.
Okay, when we come to the end of public comment, we'll move on to agenda item number 4. Would we have a motion to approve the consent agenda to include the treasurer's report and bills, the library account listing and investment portfolio, minutes approval, including special meeting of the library board of trustees, August 12th, 2025, general meeting of the library board of trustees, August 12th, 2025, special meeting of the building and grounds committee, August 18, 2025, special meeting of the finance committee, August 19, 2025, special meeting of the policy committee, September 2nd, 2025. The department reports from August 2025, including the adult services, youth services, marketing and outreach, and the statistics for August 2025. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda? All right, we have a motion. Any discussion?
I'd like to consider removing the general meeting of the library board of trustees. Simply because there's a section in that indicates, if we go to the section talking about the approval of the AI policy.
So, excuse me.
In
Section 8, committee reports,
yes,
item D2.
item D2.
Can we just remove it first and then go into the discussion of it?
Yeah, let's take it out.
Okay, we have a motion to remove the general meeting minute of the library board of trustees, August 12th, 2025. We'll do a voice vote. All those in favor of removing that, say aye.
Wait,
Got
could,
it.
I'm sorry,
Yes,
could you
thank
tell
you.
me again why the approval of AI policy is what you're,
Well, we're
It's
gonna
in the
discuss
we're
that.
gonna, we didn't approve it, we're gonna discuss.
We're gonna discuss that once we
Okay.
take it out. We just can't discuss it till we take it
Do
out.
we have to vote to remove items? Oh, we have to vote to remove items.
No, we just take it.
We've never voted to remove items in the past.
Okay,
It's just if a board member wants to take something.
Okay, so we have-
out and to talk about.
all right, we have officially then removed the general meeting of the board of trustees, August 12th, 2025. We have removed that from consent agenda, and so consent agenda stands before us with a motion to approve everything else. Any further discussion? Anything else you want to remove? We'll do a roll call vote to approve consent agenda. Jen?
Aye.
Jane?
Aye.
Julie?
Aye.
Nancy Sanders?
Aye.
Nancy Schroeder? Matthew? Aye. All right, then we have approved consent agenda, and that will take us then to the general meeting of the library board of trustees, August 12th, 2025. Do we have a motion before us for this?
I just wanted to remove the section of because we haven't yet voted to approve the board minutes. I would like to look at committee reports on section D, which is policy, section 2, D2. So the action item in there is to approve the use of artificial intelligence policy. Indicating motion made by Jane Wolf to approve use of artificial intelligence policy. After discussion, the board would like to have more time to explore this policy. We took a voice vote and then it indicates that the motion passes. However, we decided we were gonna table that. So really, the motion dies, at this point, and the board did not vote. It simply said the board wants to have more time. So I think I would just like to see the information on there listed that the vote, motion died.
Just change motion passes to motion dies. Okay, but leave the vote in, right?
We
tabled it. We voted to table it though.
Yeah,
There was a vote to table it.
we
Mhm.
voted to table it.
Because a tabling is a motion. It's a motion, so you do have to vote on a motion.
Okay.
So I believe what we did was that someone brought a motion to table in essence, and then we voted unanimously to.
Is there something in the video that showed that somebody brought a motion forward to table?
You suggested it, Jane.
I suggested we table. I didn't indicate it as a motion.
Correct.
So
Tabling is a motion, though. Regardless, we did vote on it, so I think to record most accurately what we did is in our best interest. Julie, would you like more time to rewatch the video?
Yes.
Okay,
okay.
so
So,
then, would you like to make a motion to table these minutes? So that we can get them worked out better?
yes,
Okay,
I motion to table
Okay.
these minutes.
all right. We'll do a voice vote on that. Any discussion on tabling?
So we're gonna table just the AI discussion or
No, the whole,
minutes.
The
these
whole
minutes, the minutes from these.
minutes
meetings.
from
Yeah.
that meeting until next time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just checking.
Yep, thank you for that clarification. Okay, all those in favor of tabling, say aye. All those opposed, same sign. All right, very good. That will then take us to, wait, I'm in the minutes still. Here's the agenda. That will take us to old business.
All right. First things first, we have Prairie Cat app. On the agenda, there's a mistype here. It says it will go live on September 26th. The date is September 29th. So this will go live, and Prairie Cat should be marketing this through the old app as soon as this new one goes live. So if you're comfortable using the Prairie Cat app on your phones or your tablets, there will be a notice that pops up on there directing you to download the new app. We'll tell you exactly how to do it, and all of our staff will be trained on assisting anybody if you have issues. It's really quite nice. It's a huge improvement, in my opinion, from the old app. And it was a consortium vote, so all of Prairie Cat Library apps are updating to this model. So I'm looking forward to that. So just be on the lookout. You use your app, you can expect it. Is there any questions?
Did you say September
September
29th?
29th. All right. Next, IPLAR was completed and submitted.
I think we're on
Window.
window.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I'm jumping ahead. Window replacement. AMB Exteriors did get back to me, and our tentative date for this project is between October and November. They emailed me again today saying that they're still on track with that, and when they can get a more finalized date, they'll give us a call. But we still are in the works to have this completed before the winter. So I'm very excited about that.
So,
Any questions?
mhm.
Perfect. That's it for old business.
Okay, we'll move then to our director's report.
So first, internet and computer use policy that was approved by the board last month has been updated, published, and added to all of the public computers. So when you log on to use a public computer, the new policy is what you see and what you'll have to accept in order to utilize those. And that was all completed by CMJ for us. So little shout out to them. Next, IPLAR was completed and submitted, our annual public library report for all of our statistics. If anybody's ever curious about looking at those numbers, I would be happy to show the report to you so you can see trends of what's been happening with checkouts and programs and also anything that really we collect stats for the library.
Is that something you would just be able to email all of us?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
be great.
Okay. Next, we have DeKalb County Economic Development Corporation Partnership, job search kiosk. So Don Alexi, who is the Economic Development Director for the city of Sandwich, reached out to me because a new project through the county came up that he thought the library would be a great fit for. And it is to install pre-developed job search kiosks. So they're machines. They look like giant computers and into the library that would be helpful for resources for job searching and all different things like that. So he got me in contact with a representative from the county, and they're looking for 3 sites to host these kiosks, one in the northern part of the county, southern and central. DeKalb County is the other, or I'm sorry, DeKalb Library is the other central location site that they chose for this. And they did choose all libraries to participate. So we're the southern end of the county. DeKalb Library is the center, and I'm not sure who they picked for northern. The purpose of this kiosk is to provide community access to job search tools, career services, and employer resources in high traffic accessible locations. It should support local workforce development efforts by connecting job seekers and employers in real time. That's coming directly from the county. The kiosks would not be permanent. They would be freestanding and are removable. So depending on how well this program works or not, they can't, or we just don't want it here. If it's impeding on anything, we can remove it. The timeline for hosting the kiosk would be 6 months to start. And then they'll see where it goes from there. If it seems like it's successful, they'll likely ask for us to keep it longer. If not, they'll take them back. Maintenance would be covered by the state, not the library. So there is no cost to this kiosk. Training would be provided to staff from the county. And where they are right now is that they're going to pilot the kiosks in Kane County first for the next 60 days to see how they go. And they're targeting for mid-December for install for DeKalb.
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
We ought to really put that out there.
Yes.
Maybe a taste of sandwich. When we have people go through, we should have a flyer of some sort.
Yes.
That's gonna be available. I just happened to hear a couple of young people talking about job searches, and they were having issues, not
Yeah.
knowing where to go and things, so I
Perfect.
think that's a great service.
Yes, and unlike the charging stations, this is library centric. Yeah, this exactly fits our mission and our purpose. So I jumped on it immediately and was like, yes, absolutely. Especially there's no cost, there's nothing to worry about, and we have it available. So we did apply to participate in the Taste of Sandwich, so we'll be there. So as long as they send us the marketing materials and it's all solidified, we'll put that out there. It will also be marketed on our website and through social media channels, the newsletter, all that good
I think
stuff.
that's a really fine service.
Yes, I'm excited to see how it works and see how it looks. So we'll see.
So they'll come in and train our staff.
Mhm.
One more thing.
Yes, everybody will be ready and prepared to help.
That's great. Thank you, Barb.
Of course. Before we move on, can I add just 2 more things to talk about, just generally that were in my report? So first, I just really want to send a huge shout out to Emily and Michaela and Jessica. because our summer reading program had a 44% completion rate.
Mhm.
That, since I've been here, it's never been that high.
Oh, really?
Really. Normally, now when I say completion rate, that means not signups. That means people who participated through the whole program and completed the challenge.
Mhm.
Normally, we sit around 35%.
Mhm.
They jumped it to nearly half, which is incredible. And I think it's a direct result from the amount of work and time and effort that they put into planning it this year. And we did make an active effort to plan more programming during those months that tied into the theme that was summer reading representative. So I think that that did play a part.
Mhm.
So there were, signups were roughly the same as usual. So the fact that we had 44% completion, that to me, that shows a huge success of the program. So I'm just really proud of them. And I wanted to give them a public shout out for
Yeah.
how amazing that was.
Barb, you mentioned Taste of Sandwich.
Yes.
So I think last year staff did that, the shifts first, they were, your members of your staff
Mhm.
manned the stations.
But I was there and Jess was there and a couple others came and went. Cindy helped as well.
Okay.
I think that was 2 years ago. I don't think we participated last year. I think there was
Oh, I think you're right. I
yeah.
think we 1 year in between.
Yeah. So this year we're going to be giving out the trolley gummy worms, but they're going to be bookworms,
Oh,
right? Cute.
When is Taste of Sandwich?
Mhm.
The 28th,
The
24th.
It's a Wednesday.
Mhm.
Yeah, always.
So I'll be there with them for that day as well. And then we did have staff represent the library at the Sandwich Fair on Saturday from 9 to 11. They hosted the chamber booth. And it was Michaela and Mindy, and it was really cute. Michaela made a little headband that had library cards on them to celebrate September Library Card Month. It was adorable. How could you not want to go talk to her, right? So it was really fun. And then they did launch September Library Card Sign Up Month initiatives. We have a big raffle basket, and anybody is eligible so long as you get a new card in September, so long as you renew your card that you already had, as long as you were 3 months within expiration, or if you sign up for the library newsletter and you show their confirmation, then you'd be eligible to win that raffle.
Mhm.
So it's like trying to be inclusive for everybody
Mhm.
and celebrating getting a library card and figuring out what library services we offer.
Mhm.
So that's exciting. And then one more thing, there's a lot that happened. We did get a new resource up and running, a new database called Educate Station, which is for teachers and homeschool families primarily, but anybody can use it. And you can download tons of materials that are like lesson plans for different grade levels, elementary primarily. So you can work on it or use it to work on more education initiatives with your kids.
Mhm.
It's
Barb, I saw that on the monthly register at a $200. Is that a one-time fee?
that's annual,
Oh, that's an annual.
which is very low.
That's, yeah.
$200 once a year
Mhm.
to host this platform.
Mhm.
And it was one of Michaela's goals for this year was to increase homeschool resources because we do have a lot of homeschool families that we feel are underserved. So this was directly working towards figuring out new resources for homeschool families. So if you know them, spread the word, have them check it out. You can access it in the library or at home. All you need is your library card barcode and you can log on at home remotely.
Mhm.
If you don't have a sandwich card, you can access all of it in-house here.
It's great.
Very good.
All right, thank you, Barb. That'll take us to a new business. Tell us about the microphone digitalization project.
Yes, so we had talked about saving money this year during the transfer process specifically to support this project, which is something we've been trying to do for many years and haven't been able to do because it is quite costly. Our microfilm machine is broken. It won't print, and you cannot just replace different pieces of it. I can't just buy a new printer and attach it. It all comes in one piece. And the cost to replace the entire machine can be anywhere between $15,000 and $20,000. And so when we were researching this a few years ago, we figured that we would rather try to fundraise money to digitize our microfilm collection instead of using money to replace the machine. That way it could be more accessible for anyone, regardless of where you are. You don't have to come directly into the building in order to use it. They would put it up on our website for anybody to utilize. You can search way easier. You can just put in a name or a year and it'll pull everything up for you. So we had researched companies, and Advantage Archives was the one that I really liked. And it turns out that they still are the one that is like top ranked for microfilm digitization all across the board. I reached out to the director's listserv, and almost everybody has used Advantage Archives and have been very happy with the result. So the cost to microfilm all of our reels, which is 31, would be $20,400. We have set aside $20,000. We kept in our bank account specifically for special projects. In the budget, I marked $15,000 for special projects, and I figure we can use that $15,000 for this and I can spend the rest for per capita from our per capita grant, since it wasn't technically in the budget and we weren't sure where that was going. So originally, when I had this quoted a few years ago, the price was $10,000, so the price doubled. So I still think it's okay. We have the money to do it. It would not eat up our entire per capita fund. It would produce the same result for this project that we're looking for. And once it's approved, we would send them our microfilm pieces, which they provide the UPS labels for, and they would get it done within 60 days. So it'd all be digitized. It would all be put up on the website. We'd have a link to the website, and they would send us a hard drive that had copies on it. So we had a physical component that stored the digitized film. So the quote is provided in the packet for approval from the board. Does anybody have questions?
Well, let's see if there's a motion to approve the quote for microfilm digitalization project from Advantage Archives for $20,400. Thank you, Jen. All right, question and discussion.
What happens to the original reels?
We keep them.
So we would keep them and the hard drive.
Correct.
I think I was reading through the packet from the company. I was really impressed. I mean, I was even impressed with reading the little bios of each of the members of the staff. You know, it's like, I like this. Yeah. And I personally know several people who are very invested in looking at the microfilm. You know, they've come in and I know their frustration. And I think this is another thing that we shout out, because I think that there would be more people maybe not even aware what you can research on it. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, they're gonna center everything and
Yeah.
print it so you can read it and.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool thing too. You can download any article you want so long as it's not under copyright. So at home, you can download, you can print whatever you want. You can do it here. It's just so much more accessible and it's way easier to search. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
The difference between having to spend hours looking through reel by reel versus typing in keywords, it's totally worth it. I mean, it's you're saving time, the community's time. So I think it's fantastic. And you'll then have stats on how it's being used, which can go into reports and things. So, which, before that would never have been the case. So, yes.
This will be something just along as well.
Absolutely. Oh, I shout it to the rafters. I shout it all across town. And this is exciting because this is the first like big project since our revamp of our finances that we can promote. And then hopefully every year after this, we can do some sort of major project like this to look forward to. So I'm pretty excited. Also, something to state, there is no additional or incurring fees post publication. So it's not like every year they're gonna ask us to pay a hosting fee or anything like, it's all completely free. And if they do go under for whatever reason and the website's no longer publicly available, that's where we have our hard drive.
Mhm.
So we wouldn't lose
Mhm.
that, and we could then look into other options, but
Yeah,
And so they
So-
host it.
they do host it. We pay nothing after we pay this quote.
As a historical society, are they aware that we're doing this or gonna be doing this, the Sandwich Historical Society?
I haven't talked to them about it yet, but I would be happy to, because we are still working with them on the Illinois Digital Newspaper Collection project that's through the states, the Illinois University of Illinois. So they've been working on digitizing the microfilm as well. So that process has taken a long time. It's been a year and a half. They're still working on it, and it will be published and available with different papers that are all over the state as well, which is nice. But oftentimes people like to come into the library to search specifically local history. So I think we're gonna have both options.
Mhm.
And it's just gonna be wonderful. They'll have access to anything they need.
Mhm. Any further discussion or questions?
That's great.
All right, roll call vote then. Jen,
Aye.
Jane,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Nancy Sanders,
Aye.
Nancy Schroeder,
Aye.
and Matthew, I say aye. And so our motion passes. Thank you, Barb, for doing that work.
Yeah.
It's good. Okay, that'll bring us to our committee reports. We'll begin with building and grounds. Anything to report?
Just that we're scheduled for October for
Windows.
for the windows, and
Yeah.
then we'll work on staining and things. We'll work on that, so,
Which,
and then
if I can interject when you're done, Nancy,
what?
I just have a comment about the staining that I'll share when you're done.
And then we discussed changing the blinds, because we do have difficulty with the motors on the blinds sometimes, so we're going to look at a different sort of program.
Mhm.
And then yeah, police system. And then I think that's all.
Great.
Yeah.
Jen?
No, I sent Barb an email. I had family in town a few weeks ago and had a 2-year-old niece. And so we came into the library to enjoy the children's section, and that was the first time we really seen the windows. And I sent Barb an email and said, I really like the lighter unstained wood. It just looked brighter down there and more open. And I said, I don't know, maybe we would consider leaving both of those unstained. So if you haven't already looked, go look. I really think it looks pretty unstained.
But it doesn't matter.
It doesn't match, but they're both on that end, and it really, if you look, I know it doesn't match, but it felt really much more open and good.
See how you feel when both the bays are done and they look balanced?
Mhm.
Because that might change your vision of that wall. And just see how it feels. And we can come back to it
Yeah,
and see if we
Yeah,
want
oh,
to
yeah,
see
we'll
anything else.
revisit it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I never thought of that. I just thought we'd stain them because the rest of them are.
Mhm. All right, that'll take us to finance. What do you have for us, finance?
Yes, we met in August and are bringing forth 2 recommendations. One topic we discussed was if you look at our account listing, we have a CD that remains at Heartland.
Mhm.
Gotta get down to it, it closed it for some reason. Yeah. Our Heartland CD that doesn't come to maturity until June 2027. And the finance committee's been working with Barb in transferring funds over to our Illinois Funds investment account in order to maximize our interest potential there, interest revenue. So we looked at this Heartland account to see if we would be better off taking the funds out of the Heartland CD and taking the penalty expense for that. And in working the numbers, if we paid the $1,560 in penalty, we would still gain between $2,300 and $2,700 by making that move, even with the penalty. So that was the reason for the range in interest. That's just using the interest rates that are currently in place. So the finance committee is recommending that we close the Heartland CD and pay the penalty in order to reap the benefits of the higher investment yield in Illinois funds.
Would you like to make that
I would
motion?
make that motion right
Okay,
now.
so we have a motion to approve closing Heartland CD account for maturity, paying $1,560.91 penalty and transferring funds into Illinois funds account. Question, discussion. So Jen, what you're saying is if we don't do this, we're paying $2,300 to keep our money there.
Yes, essentially,
So let's not
23 to 27.
$2,300 to $2,700 to keep our money there. So that's one way to look at it.
That is one of them.
It will cost us $2,300 to $2,700 to not do this.
So we come out ahead if we do
Mhm.
it.
Right.
Even with the penalty.
Mhm.
I continue to be amazed. I do.
Mhm.
I think that, well, first kudos to you, Jen, for, and Barb for, moving forward with this to the rest of the board, for all of us saying yay to all of this, because it is truly a yay.
Mhm.
I have not seen, there's a part of me that's like, it's too good to be true. When's the other shoe gonna drop and we're gonna find out, but I'm sure that's not the case.
Mhm. Good.
Yeah.
Any other question or discussions?
That makes sense.
Okay, well then let's take a roll call vote. All those in favor say yay, Jen.
Oh, yay.
I expect you to say yay.
I don't want to hear this anymore.
Okay, Jen voted yay.
I say yay.
Jen says yay.
Yay.
Julie,
Yay.
Nancy Sanders,
Yay.
Nancy Schroeder, and Matthew, I say yay. Okay, good. Okay, what else do you have for us, finance? We're not done with the fun yet.
I'm not done with the fun yet. So additionally, in looking to maximize our growth within the Illinois funds, yeah, keep flipping back and forth between these two files. In our account listing right now, you'll see that our First National Savings Account contains a considerable amount of $445,699. And so the Finance Committee is also proposing keeping the savings account as a 6-month cash reserve. That's the recommendation from the Illinois library standards, to keep a 6-month cash reserve available, but anything in excess of a 6-month cash reserve, we would go ahead and move over to Illinois funds to continue earning interest on that money. So if you were to look at our Illinois fund statement, just from, that came in your packet, that was from July 1st to July 31st, which does not reflect our full balance quite yet. We earned $1,100 in interest in 1 month. Wow. That translates to over $12,000 a year. So this isn't even reflective of all the money that we've since transferred in there. So if we can maximize that account, the library stands to gain a considerable amount of interest. Now, of course, we can't guarantee the interest rates, they're going to fluctuate, but it is one of the most competitive rates out there. So if this is a move, we would still have a cash reserve available for any emergencies. But remember, the Illinois funds account is also liquid, so we would have access to this money at any time as well. So really an act to maximize our interest earnings. We have the organizational cash reserve policy that states this very fact, that we would maintain a 6-month reserve, and anything in excess of that could go into our Illinois funds account. So
Are you making a motion
I
to
make a
approve
motion
that
to
policy?
approve the policy.
Okay,
Did we want to take that one part out?
Yes, so once the motion's made, then I'll give my feedback on that.
okay, so we have a motion then.
Do we have to motion before the question?
Yes.
No, we've got it. Jen
Yeah,
made the
we did.
motion, so go ahead. You got a question?
Jen, when we put money in the bank and stuff, the bank is FDIC is insured.
Mhm.
So are we insured with Illinois funds too?
We had a conversation about that. Illinois Funds is not FDIC insured,
Right?
but there are, I guess, safety nets in place through Illinois Funds, and we sent a document out about how they do that, and I can't remember what that's called. And Barb can send that to you again, but there is safety to those funds there. But it's not FDIC insured.
Okay,
There's
so-
also, the thing to note. FDIC only insures up to $250,000.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons you'd have to break all of that up into different accounts and constantly be watching.
Yes. And we had talked about that at different times, because at one time, the bank said they would go ahead and put a rider on there that they would insure whatever we had, but obviously they never did that. Obviously. I'd rather go with Illinois funds where we have a safety net.
Now, with the policy, one edit that I'd like to propose, if you look at it's very short cash reserve policy, but the sentence that starts funds in excess of this reserve may be transferred to Illinois funds for investment purposes. I would just make the recommendation, funds in excess of this reserve may be transferred for investment purposes. Just in the event that if down the road, we no longer use Illinois funds and have some other investment vehicle, we would have the flexibility built into the policy to move the funds, excess funds, to wherever our investments lie.
Okay, can you say that as a motion to amend, that you move to amend the policy?
I move to amend the policy to read, funds in excess of this reserve may be transferred for investment purposes. In
Okay.
accordance with the library's cash management strategy.
So you're just striking to Illinois funds.
Yes.
Okay. Is everyone clear on that motion?
Barb.
Yes, on the motion. I don't know if we needed a motion because this isn't an
It's not
approved
approved.
policy yet.
But when you are wanting to amend something that have a motion on, you have to have another amendment as a motion. So that's how we'll do it now. We can do more research on that if
Okay.
everyone's not on the same page, but yeah, in order to amend something that you've moved, yeah, that is a motion. So we can do a voice vote for that, though. All those in favor of that amendment, say aye. Aye. So now we're back to the motion. So Jen has made a motion to approve this policy as amended. Now questions and discussion on the policy at large. Is it true that if we adopt this policy, then that just gives Barb the ability to make those transfers and we don't need to vote on any transfers?
Sure. Yes.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, it's not spending any money, it's just moving it.
Mhm. Okay.
And also going back to Nancy's point about the FDIC insurance through the bank, by reducing the amount in our savings account. Right now, we're sitting at 444,000 in
Right.
the savings account, so
What is 6-month operation?
Barb can calculate that.
Yeah, I would have to calculate it. It would be about half of what our annual operating costs are.
Okay,
So at offhand, that's around $700,000. So I think we'd try to keep around 300 to 350.
Okay,
but I will get an accurate number.
okay.
And if anybody wants, I can send an email to the board with the exact number when we transfer.
Yeah, that would be fine. I guess part of the opposite of question is, so how much does this mean we can put into Illinois funds? Is kind of my question behind the question there, with we're already getting $1,100 in interest. If we stand to put another $100,000 in there, that's gonna be a significant jump forward including what we just voted to move there.
And I would also say that Illinois funds statement doesn't reflect the full amount, the full value of our account yet,
Mm-hmm,
because it's a month behind.
mm-hmm,
And Barb has since deposited other funds into it.
yeah,
Yes. Because the last deposit
Yeah,
was on July 30th for
Mhm.
$143,000, so that wouldn't have been reflected through the
Mhm.
the whole month
Mhm.
getting that
Mhm.
interest. So August will be a fund statement
yeah.
to look at.
Mhm. Putting the fun back in funds, right? Okay, are we ready? Are we ready to vote on that? Any further discussion or questions on the policy before us? Okay, then we will do a roll call vote because it's policy. Jen, Jane, Julie,
Aye.
Nancy Sanders,
I,
Nancy Schroeder,
Aye.
Matthew, I say aye, and the policy is adopted.
Yay.
All right, that'll take us then to Personnel Committee. Anything to report? Thank you very much, Personnel Committee. Policy Committee. We've got a few things from policy. Nancy Schroeder, do you want to fill us in on this since Heather's not here, or do you want Barbara and I to speak to it?
I would prefer Barb do it.
Okay.
Would you like me to do it? Okay. Let me pull everything up. So first, we're going to talk about the library service policy. Give me 1 second. Right. So in your packets, I included the currently approved active library service policy, which has not been reviewed or updated since 2019. So the policy committee came together and this was next on our calendar to review. And so we put together a brand new draft that matches the look of the rest of our policies, as well as more, I think, definitively and more organized provides the library services policy. It just looks better, it's more organized, it provides more detailed information. We also had not included a lot of the services that we've brought to the library over the past 6 years that were not represented in the original policy. So like the license plate renewals, the public warming and cooling center, plastic bag recycling, a lot of that was not represented in the original policy. So we added that all in under the additional services section. So we just felt like this was a much cleaner copy of the library services policy and a much more up-to-date one that accurately reflects what our services are in 2025.
Excellent. Thank you, Barb. I'll move to approve the updated library service policy. Any discussion or questions on it?
yeah, so you mentioned the additional services, and just this evening, we talked about 2 more services coming online. What would the plan be for just reviewing this?
So this is just going to be a general policy we review every 2 years. So according to Illinois standards, they like you to review every policy that you have once every 3 years. So you're maintaining, you're staying up to date with everything. So since this one, it's not really indicative of anything super influential for the library that could cause issues if changes did occur within that time frame. It's just more accurately showing what we have, but anything that we have, we offer on the website. So I think this would just come up in our regular rotation of policy review, and then whatever we don't provide anymore, we can eliminate. Whatever we have added, we can provide. I've also tried to make whatever we added more vague. So like databases, that Educate Station could fall into that. Udemy could fall right into that. So that's a more easy
Mhm.
thing.
And anytime if somebody on policy committee or any of the board members felt, we need to get this updated because a lot has changed. You just email Barb and put it on the agenda for a policy meeting and rewrite it and,
That would be a
Yeah.
quick fix.
yeah. Yeah. Any other questions or discussion about that policy? All right, since it is a policy, we'll do roll call. Jen?
Aye.
We haven't, oh yeah, I made the motion. Okay. Jane?
Aye.
Julie?
Aye.
Nancy Sanders?
Aye.
Nancy Schroeder?
Aye.
And Matthew, I say aye, and we adopt that policy. Next is the, Barb, you want to tell us about the lightning detection policy?
Sure. This one I just happened to find in a binder of old policies. This had, like, it's so old, it has our old library logo on it. This was 2016, so almost 10 years old. Since last time it was reviewed, almost to the day, September 13th. Wow, sorry, that was fun to just see. The policy committee and I have discussed this, and we wanted to propose expiring this because any portion of this policy that was accurately reflected of the library procedures is going to be reflected in the new emergency action guide. So there's no purpose to have multiple policies reflecting the same thing. Also, there's a whole section in here that has nothing to do with the library. The number 3, the routine inspections by the Sandwich Park District, that's a whole section in there saying that the Sandwich Park District has to inspect all LDs that the district's installed. We don't have any. So I don't
And
understand.
It
if
lists the ones all that at other places that aren't us.
Right,
So we have policy. We basically adopted policy for other institutions.
right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so this is why we opted to suggest expiring it.
So I will move to expire the lightning detection policy. Any question or discussion?
I have a question. When the lightning detection goes off, do you hear it loudly in here? When that siren goes off,
Oh, yeah.
that's posted over on the Y?
Yeah.
So you hear it.
Every
I-
first Tuesday of the month. When they
Oh,
test
But
it.
that's not the one I'm talking
No,
about.
that's the.
I'm talking about the one when the actual lightning appears at in the
Right.
the lightning, I'm not sure what the Tuesday one is, but that's not the lightning. Lightning is when they cite it and it detects it. And I think it was originally established, those detectors were put around town. Because the baseball fields are right over here. And when lightning was sighted within 30 miles, those detectors went off. So that's my curiosity. Do you ever hear them here?
No, if it's a different alarm than the one for tornado sirens, I've never heard it.
And why would the library need that?
We technically don't. We don't
I
have
think
any
they were
lightning
installed
detection at
on-
all. It's the wire.
They were installed on the Y.
Installed in the
Yeah.
wire.
Right over here.
But if it's a separate alarm, I've never heard it. And we get lightning here all the time.
Cause I hear them throughout town. Doesn't anybody else hear them?
Yeah, I hear them.
Yeah.
They're at all the ball fields so that they actually clear the field.
Right.
Since
And
coaches
that's
could
why
never
they made them,
decided whether
because
they wanted.
historically, what was happening is the ball fields over here. Coaches would continue to have their kids play when there was lightning in the area. And
So it never even applied to the library.
No.
So-
Yeah.
It doesn't,
Yeah.
no, it didn't. I'm just curious.
Mhm.
as to-
unless we have an activity outside.
Right, but
And-
then our, safety issues would go into place, but I was just curious. That's the history behind the lightning detectors.
Just because I haven't heard it doesn't mean it's not happening. I don't historically have the best hearing.
I think you would hear it, because I hear it over at my house.
Well,
So they're going off when there's lightning in the 30-mile radius. And they,
Yeah, every
it's-
storm.
it's like a storm alarm. And that's.
What does it sound like?
Make a sound, make a sound, Jen.
It's different from tornado, yeah.
Make a sound.
So anyhow, I was just curious as to what it sounded like here.
apparently like silenced me, but the next time we
And
have a
most of
storm.
the
I'm
time
gonna
would
be-
probably be at night, because
Yeah.
a lot of, and, you might, not be here, I don't know.
Yeah, because it gives one long siren for when they're telling them to clear the fields and then three short ones when it's safe to go back out again.
It was a regular system.
Yeah.
Okay, so the motion to expire the lightning detection policy is before us. Okay, any further discussion? You ready to vote? Okay, we'll take a roll call vote. The motion is to expire the lightning detection policy. Jen?
Aye.
Jane? Julie?
Aye.
Nancy Sanders?
I,
Nancy Schroeder?
I,
Matthew? I say aye.
I'm sitting here.
All right,
It's time
and just a note on the AI policy from the committee, Barb.
So last month, I had presented a draft copy of an AI policy. And we did agree to table that discussion, and we did talk about it a little bit more in policy committee. There has been no significant update to that. I'm still working on gathering information, what I feel is quality information. And I have it on my list to search for really good webinars that I'm going to send to board members if you're curious to learn more. And I have discussed it with staff to see if we could figure out some training for AI and move forward. So just right now, we didn't feel like there's much to report at all, but we wanted to mention that it is still very much at the forefront of our minds, and we are researching it, and we're gonna figure something out to move forward with it. I feel like that accurately represents.
Yeah, and I think just that we wanted to, instead of passing something and then doing research, where we want to do the research and then pass something. So we're just gonna slow down. We want to do it right. So,
There's no like time issue
Yeah,
with this. We could pass it next year
Mhm.
if we needed to, because like conversation happened last month. There are no regulations statewide, federally at all with AI. Some might develop and we would have to change the policy anyway. So like Matt said, we'd rather take our time to do it as efficiently as possible for the library, whatever that looks like, before we just pass something just to have it.
That makes sense.
absolutely. Thank you for that update as well. Okay, that will move us to our final item here. That is our upcoming meetings. There will be a general meeting of the Library Board of Trustees on Tuesday, October 7th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. And there will be a policy committee meeting on September 30th at 3 p.m.
Wait a minute.
It just says TBD.
It's yeah.
I'm looking at. The 7th of October. Is
I'm
the
on
first-
vacation that
Oh,
week.
did we move it?
Well, I requested from the time the packet went out, I've been in contact with the policy committee to reschedule our regularly scheduled policy meeting for October. October 7th is the first Tuesday,
Right,
so our board meeting is the 14th.
Oh, okay, it
Yeah,
says the
that's-
7th.
yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
yes.
The general meeting. Okay,
That's
so
correct.
the
Yeah.
general meeting of the Library Board of Trustees will be on Tuesday, October 14th at 6:30 p.m. Policy Committee meeting is at 3 p.m. on the 30th of September.
Right.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Isn't the sound?
It's, the 14th. Good eye. Thank you, everyone.
good eye.
Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn at 7:28 p.m.? Okay, I hear a second there too as well. So all those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Oh, I'm voting yes to adjourn. And meeting is adjourned at 7:28.
Who made that motion?
Jane.
Who wants it?
I do.
Who wants it?
I do.